Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into uh, a pretty intense story that hit the news recently.
Yeah, definitely. One of those you see the headline and just have to shake your head.
Right. It involves a school, some very upset parents, and a confrontation that got way out of hand.
Yeah, and the whole thing was caught on body cam, which, always adds that extra layer of
Reality, right. It's all right there.
well,
No filter.
exactly. So, we'll be taking a close look at that footage, trying to break down exactly what happened.
So the incident took place at Deltona Middle School on November 19th.
Okay.
And it started with a meeting between school officials and these two parents, Jorge Rivera and Degmeryl Torino.
Gotcha.
Their son had been accused of pushing another student.
Sounds like a pretty standard disciplinary situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, these things happen.
Of course, every school deals with these.
But this meeting, well, it went off the rails.
All right, so what exactly happened? What does the footage show?
Well, according to the footage, the parents, Rivera and Ichirino, they started getting really agitated, really upset as the meeting went on. Seemed like they felt the school wasn't taking the situation seriously enough.
Okay, so tempers flaring, understandable to some degree.
Sure, I mean, I get it. You're defending your kid. But what happened next? I mean, it was just,
Oh,
it was shocking.
lay it on me.
Ichirino actually shoved the school resource deputy, like pushed her against the wall.
Whoa, okay, hold on. That's a big escalation.
And it didn't stop there.
Nah.
Rivera then punched the deputy, like right in the face, hard.
Oh, wow, assaulting a law enforcement officer. That's serious stuff.
Yeah, the deputy ended up with a concussion.
Ugh, concussions are nothing to mess with.
No, they're not. And get this, Rivera even tried to grab the deputy's taser during the whole thing.
Seriously, tried to disarm the officer.
Yeah, luckily he dropped it when she, ordered him to.
Okay, that could have turned into a whole other level of crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
So, what are the parents facing legally now? This is way beyond just like disorderly conduct, right?
Right. They're facing some serious charges, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and trespassing on school property.
Wow, yeah. Battery on a law enforcement officer, especially when it results in an injury like a concussion, that's a felony in most states.
Right. And Sheriff Chitwood, he's made it very clear that he intends to hold them accountable for their actions.
Understandably so. This isn't just about protecting the officer in this specific case, but, it sends a message about maintaining order and respecting authority.
And the whole thing went viral, the footage and everything. So there's a lot of talk online about the whole situation. And one of the comments that really stuck with me, someone said, it's not hard to see where the child learned this abusive behavior.
Yeah, I saw that comment too. And it's heartbreaking really, but it brings up a really important point. Like, what about the kid? What about their son? He witnessed this violent outburst.
Right, exactly. What kind of impact could this have on him?
Well, kids, especially at that age, they're still developing their understanding of right and wrong, appropriate behavior, and seeing your parents, the people you're supposed to look up to and learn from, resorting to violence like that sends a really confusing or really messed up message.
Yeah, I mean, it normalizes that kind of behavior, right?
Exactly. It can teach them that violence is an acceptable way to deal with conflict, to solve problems. And that's really scary to think about, the long-term consequences for this kid.
This isn't just about the immediate incident, is it?
No, not at all. This is about, the ripple effects.
Right. So, we've talked about the legal side of things, the impact on the child, but, this whole incident, it raises some broader questions too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, how do we handle these situations?
Exactly. What can schools and communities do to prevent things like this from happening in the future?
Right. How do we equip parents, school staff, everyone involved to deal with conflict constructively without it escalating into violence?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. I mean, there's no easy answers here.
No, definitely not. But these are the conversations we need to be having.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you all with this. How can we as a community work together to make our schools safer for everyone, for the
Right.
students, for the staff, for the parents? It's a challenge, but it's one we have to face head on. And it's a question that I hope you all will continue to think about.
Well said. We all have a role to play in creating a more peaceful and supportive environment for our kids.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. And we'll see you next time.
See you then.